Hey, what's going on, guys? I wanted to put up this quick video on YouTube. It may be short, it may be long. I'm not for sure how this is going to turn out. Number one, I wanted to update you guys. I'm going to be putting this on both channels. I do have kind of like a nerdish, gamerish channel, but I also have like it was supposed to be a vlog style channel, but up until just recently, I could never figure out what to vlog about. Um, so I put together a podcast series. Actually, is what got me started on this. And Literally, it's going to be over celebrate recovery. Now, I don't have all copies of the books physically in front of me because I am dyslexic. I have to digitize them, but it is available on Anchor.fm. I will leave that link down below. The first video is kind of the first episode is kind of similar to this one, as in it's an introduction to me. It's an introduction to kind of somewhat of my life. Why am I doing this? What got me on the path? And now more will be probably revealed in this video because I wanted to put up this video as a hope of an inspiration for you guys. Now, let me give you an idea of what 2019 going into 2020 was for me. Okay? And this is why I'm bringing this up now. 2019, I literally moved my whole life. I needed a change. I found it. And I love, and somebody who I now love very dearly, who has changed my life a lot. I moved actually from Indiana to South Carolina. Literally picked up everything I owned into a tiny little car, a little Chevy Spark that I had at the time, which I will get into what happened to it here in a minute, and moved. But then, now, mind you, I'm going to throw the current economic crisis out of the picture. And this is throwing the economic crisis, COVID-19, jobs, everything out of the way. I want to throw that out of the way. There's a reason for that. Okay, now move forward into 2020. January 1 comes, and January 1st comes and goes. But then literally, I'm in the midst of training for my new job that I had picked up here in the local area, in what they call in this area the CSRA. If you're not familiar with that, but in the midst of my training, my house catches literally on fire. Um, I lost everything. I lost my dog. Everything I moved from South Carolina from Indiana to South Carolina with, I lost it all. I lost everything. And almost lost a piece of myself along the way. If it wasn't for a local church that I was getting connected with at the time, I would have totally lost myself. Um, Now, fast forwarding through that, we stayed with some family for a very short time, and now the reason I have this, there's no setup behind me. This is my actual home. You are seeing behind me. This is an unfinished shed that we are literally converting into a tiny house. Yes, we used our money, we put it together from the stimulus checks, and currently in the process of building this brand new tiny home for just her and I. But then tragedy struck again. We had tragedy strike again on us multiple times. We had some pets that we had. Two of them passed away, unfortunately, and one of them prior to that we had to get rid of. For reasons I'm not going to bring up because I don't want to bash anybody um, or sound like I'm talking down to anybody. But it was requested that that animal go, so we respected that. Now move forward a little bit more up until just recent events, literal just recent events. Um, I got into a car wreck, a single car motor vehicle accident in the Jellicoe Mountains. I was on the way back to Indiana to attend to a personal family matter, and I got into a car wreck. And that's where this thing that I currently have on comes into play. I broke my back. Literally, I have a compound fracture of the L1 vertebrae. So right now, I'm down. I'm out of work. For how long, we don't know. I literally just handed the documents into my job, and I'm supposed to be reporting back in the next 10 days, and it's no telling if they're going to say yes or no. Literally. Um, and literally, what has kept me together through, despite what I've been through in my past, despite my drug rehabilitation that I told you guys about, despite the abuse that I have been through, everything I've been through prior to this has been, I'm not joking, the darkest days of my life. To the point that I will be honest, I became very closed. I was closed off for a little while. I was very closed off. I didn't want to, besides my beautiful fiance, I didn't want to be around, near, look at anybody. Um, and I was literally starting to think that my life was never going to come back together again. But then, surprise would have it, and that's where I got the idea for the podcast I'm going to link below, and I'm probably going to do more with it over time. Um, is that my mom, who is in Indiana, who's 3 states away, I was calling her one day. I was down in the dumps. I mean, before I talked to her, I was just bawling out the eyes, crying after everything I had been through. And my mom was like, "You need to occupy your time. Start a podcast, listen to a podcast, do something, do something." And so what I did is literally I started the first episode of the podcast. And now this might sound really, really bad. But I enjoyed it, even though right now I only have one viewer. I put it all on Anchor. It's on audio. I tried to put it on YouTube, but YouTube was having issues where you couldn't see my physical face. They didn't like that. They were like, nope, we're not going to allow your video on there. So literally, it blocked every move I made. So I put it on Anchor. And like I said, I'm not sponsored or anything. I am actually just doing this out of the kindness of my own heart and literally sharing my story in a way through what's called Celebrate Recovery, where each episode I'm gonna either paraphrase from the book or read right from it and bring up my personal experiences that I had with each step along the way. Um, and literally, it's turned my life around in a very short amount of time. So, what I'm trying to get at, guys, is that we may be through the darkest times. Some of you who may be watching this may be out of work, or you may have been like us, gone from a two check income household down to a one, and you have many kids to support. Don't give up during your darkest times. And I know that's easier said than done. I know that's easy. It's easier said than done. I had people who told me, "Don't give up, don't give up, don't stop fighting." Because at one point, I actually did almost give up. I wanted to give up and disappear for good, but I didn't. I stayed. And it's turned my life around even more to the point last night my fiance and I were talking and she goes, "It's really weird that I could tell you have changed, but I still have my old Jeffrey that I met 3.5 years ago." And yes, we've known each other as friends for that long and been together now. In 2 months, it'll be a year that we've been together even through these trying times. Um, so that's what I'm saying to you guys. Don't give up. And if you feel like you've hit rock bottom, if you are a Christian like myself, go to the church, find somebody to connect with there. I have a Celebrate Recovery group that I still check in with those guys. And literally through my darkest hours, I remember this. Um, the guy who runs my group looked at me and said after the fire, "If you need to call me at 3 a.m., call me at 3 a.m." And literally one day I woke up from a nightmare and I had to call him at 3 in the morning. And he talked to me for over an hour after he woke up. And I took an additional half an hour. So we were on the phone for close to a couple hours. So it's the biggest thing I can tell you is don't give up and remember you're not in this fight alone. While it seems like we're going through dark times in our country right now, it, we're not alone in this fight. There are people out there that that are either worse off or better off, who are willing to listen to you. You can call, like I said, the local church. If you've got friends at work, very close family members, which I actually do, I will I will post SOS, what I call SOSs, and my verbiage is a little awkward, but my family knows it well enough to know that if I put certain things up, they're like, we need to check in on him. Reach out to somebody. Don't ever give up. And if you are, even if you're not a Christian like myself, a word of prayer to whatever God you worship goes a long way. It goes a very long way. And I find myself recently looking at a serenity prayer, which if some of you have been through recovery or know what recovery is, you're semi familiar with it. You know what it is. And now mine's the Christian version. I'm gonna say it out loud, but it's something. There is another one you can find online. I am gonna mention it in my podcast at a future date. But it literally mine, and I even have in my Bible. It's on the cover, and you can't really see it because it wants to flip it upside down. It's really funky. But I have a little Bible cover that has this prayer on it, and it reminds me. Now that I'm really looking at it, it reminds me every day. It says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. If you want to know something that's gotten me through the dark times, is that prayer. I get reminded of it all the time. All the time. I mean, even after my more recent car accident, I got reminded of it again from a friend of mine. They said, remember serenity prayer, and it hit me, what they were talking about. Um, so back to what I'm going to be doing is literally posting podcast on anchor.com. Like I said, I'm gonna leave the link down below. I am going to be on several other platforms. Anchor is going to allow me to be on several other platforms. Um, and the thing I want to also do with this video is I want to invite you to join us. Yeah, I don't care what walk of life you are, Christian, atheist, I don't care. If you are hitting the dark times and you need help, come join us. And the only thing I literally ask is for respect. Respect not just for yourself and me, but for others in turn who are going through this journey with you. Please be respectful to them. And that's the best thing I could tell you to do right now. And even if it's not me that you just choose to read with and follow this journey with, there are others out there, just like me, who are willing to help. Now, timeline I'm kind of looking at right now. I'm looking at. I still, once I go back to work, I'll be back at a regular schedule. I literally plan on having these posted at least by every Wednesday. I'm actually today is actually Monday, so I am starting the process of recording both. I haven't decided if I'm going to do video and audio simultaneously. Uh, or not. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to be starting the recording process either late today or early tomorrow. Um, if I get it done early, I will post it, but it won't go up till Wednesday. If I am running late, I will let you guys know. But if you guys have any questions, you can send me a private email. My private email will be down below where you can reach out to me. But also, you can leave a actual, you can send a message to me through YouTube, or you can comment on this video. Just like I said, I ask, please be respectful to others. I don't want to see any hate on this channel. None. I don't want to see it. That's why I'm not talking. That's why I was only talking about the darkness that has hit my life. And almost practically, even though I mentioned it, I'm still not worried. I'm concerned, but I'm not concerned enough for me personally. And it goes back to the serenity prayer. It says to accept the things I cannot change. I can't change what goes on outside these doors. I can't change what happens on this YouTube page. I can't change any of that. But continuing on, the courage to and the courage to change the things that I can. I can change me. I can change myself. I can change myself. That's why I'm willing to help. Because I know I have things that have changed my life that I think could help you, no matter what your walk of life is. And it continues on even with the prayer and the wisdom to know the difference of what I can change and what I can't. Now, am I sitting here saying that I'm perfect? No, I'm not perfect. I am far from it. Even from a Christian perspective, I am not perfect. I'm not perfect at all. And I'm willing to admit that. But like I said, if you need to just talk, comments down below. Please make them polite, though, encouraging to others. Um, I will say that I will monitor the comments, and if I do see hate, I will deal with it personally. There is no production company helping me with this. I'm on my own. Anchor.fm for my podcast. And if you could please, and I hate to, if you could, even if, like, comment, subscribe, either to this or to Anchor. I do plan on doing a lot more. I just need to figure out what God is trying to lead me to do at this point. At this point, I know that He wants me to do the 12 steps of recovery. And that process could take going through the book itself. There's 8 in all. They're 8 small books. That could take a year. That could take a year. Um, but where He guides me after that with this, I don't know. I don't know. Only He knows that. So I do plan on trying to have a video up every Wednesday. Like I said, I'm going to be starting the process probably even after I finish this video and try to get it posted. I'm going to start on both my channels. I'm going to start the process of either recording or finish writing the next chapter in the recovery series, which literally, and I'm going to tell you guys this now, it's getting off the river of denial. That's the very first step. And I'm going to share I'll even share how I did it. Now, you guys, besides communicating with each other, with me, do me one other favor. I do want this to grow and thrive. So like I said, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you do decide, hey, I want to give, I want to help more. I want to help more. Well, unfortunately, YouTube platform is the platform that I am not doing that on. Now, I am not on the other platforms. I'm Anchor.com, Anchor.fm does have monetary part of it. And even if you guys just play the video, I am going to have a quick ad in there. I'm sorry. But just listen to the ad. Just play the video. You help me out. You help me out. So like I said, you guys, reach out to one another. Support one another. If you're hitting the darkest times of your life, reach out to somebody near you. Reach out to me, or find a community online. They are out there. Or even just reach out to me. My email will be down below. I will have my Anchor podcast on there and everything. Now, before I leave, I do want to tell you guys one thing. All my videos, all my podcasts, everything I do is filmed raw. What I mean by that is the only time I will edit, modify, or change anything is if a cell phone goes off or I get interrupted by some sort of outside force that I can't control. Like somebody walks into my house right now. That's the only time they'll be ever edited or cut or I got to start. But usually when I say cut, I'm going to start literally from scratch. I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to start over. So, like I said, they are all filmed raw. So I never know what's even going to happen on for myself. I could have a time where uh, I go through the entire lesson, I explain my story, and then we move on. But I could also have a time where something catches me, something grabs me within it, and I spend an entire episode on that one thing. So, like I said, they're all filmed raw. But guys, do enjoy the podcast. Like I said, I'm gonna try to video record and podcast record at the same time, but I don't know. I may do two separate ones. I haven't decided yet. So please bear with me as I do that. But in the meantime, I am just gonna say, God be with you and with your spirit. Look out for one another. Wear a mask if you do leave your home. Be safe and healthy. And be there for one another. Thank you.